Okay, I was just looking at my desk and I was thinking, maybe my subscribers might find my desk kind of interesting. I'm not sure, but since I'm waiting for the RTV sealant on the pickup truck to cure, I can't drive it until 5 o'clock. I thought maybe, I don't know, a little behind the scenes might be kind of interesting. Okay, so doesn't take much to make me happy, but this does it. I got these from Jeffrey Bezos, obviously, and what they are is they are arbors for my die grinder, and these bring me a lot of happiness for some odd reason. So let's just check it out. I'll put the link in the description. And the cool thing is that these come with all these little screws, and some of them have a 3/8 arbor for a cutting wheel, and some of them have a 1/4 inch. I'm going to guess that's 1/4 by 20, but who knows, since it was made in China. I don't know if they use 1/4 20, but the point is that these come with either size, so I'm guessing that maybe this is for Dremel stuff. I don't know, but I got tired of not being able to find an arbor when I needed it, so that's that. All right, right here. Now this is made by a company called TEMO, kind of like Nemo but with a T. And what this is this is a high quality carbide cutting bit, but you see it's got more space between the flutes. That's designed for cutting aluminum, because when you try to cut aluminum with a regular carbide bit, it kind of gets into. And if it looks like I'm living in my garage, that is what I'm doing, because I'm selling my house. So the inside of the house I'm working on the baseboards and painting it. So I'm actually living in my garage, which I should have done a long time ago, because look how cool it is. You just get up in the morning and you punch the button, and then you've got it's like living in Mexico, kind of, with a big sliding wall. But the house doesn't cost $2 million. So, all right, let's get back to my desk here. So these are just for cutting my toenails. And this is also for keeping my toes looking semi-presentable, because I try to wear flip-flops as much as I can. Now, these are dollar store glasses, because I'm 56 going on 57. I used to have razor sharp vision when I was clear up until I was 42 or 43. And I read an article where they said, when you're 39 or 40, your vision falls off a cliff. And clear into 41, 42, I had razor sharp 20/20 vision, and I was thinking, ha ha ha, I've got better eyes, and all my healthy living has helped me see perfectly. I'll probably never have to wear glasses. Literally the next year, I went to read a book in bed, and I was like, what's going on here? Why can't I see these letters? And then I realized, oh my God, my vision is going, and I can't see anything now. So I have these strategically placed all over the house. So if I'm in the kitchen, I need to read a label. There's some in the kitchen, and I have them at my desk. And just kind of basically stuff like that. Here, let me get my clear stuff up here. So and then you can kind of see I'm watching this guy here, Casey Neistat, and I kind of like his brother's videos, the Spirited Man, and then I've been watching him. He's over here with his girlfriend. Yeah, I feel you, man. And so let's see what else we got. Okay, so then these are just, I don't know, these came out of my sewing kit, every now and then I have to sew some stuff. And then let's see, I've got my Tiffany money clip that I've had ever since I used to run my internet company. And I used to carry a wallet, but it was big and bulky, and I thought, I look like a what do I look like? I look like a guy with a big bulky wallet, And I I tried to keep getting stuff out of my wallet. I was like, I have a membership to a gym I'm not even in anymore. I started going through my wallet, right? And I was like, I don't ever use any of this stuff, but I have this huge thick wallet that's always in my back pocket. So I was like, well, what's the least amount of stuff that I require? So then I got it down to I just need a couple $100 and like my driver's license in case I get pulled over, and maybe a credit card. And so then it got to the point where I was thinking like, okay, this is so thin that actually the wallet is 2/3 of the issue. So then I tried to find a super thin wallet, and I went to all these stores, and I think it was in Carmel or somewhere, and I was like, I'm not gonna pay $500 for a leather wallet. I only have $200 to keep in it, you know. And a lady at the counter was like, you know what you ought to do? You ought to get a money clip. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think when I was 8 years old, I think I might have had a money clip. And I was like, yeah, that's a brilliant idea. So I wandered around, and I was like, where do you think I get a good money clip? She's like, well, the best money clips come from Tiffany's. And I was like, oh, you know what? That sounds vaguely familiar. When I was younger, I read this book by Trump called Art of the Deal. And he speaks very highly of Mr. Tiffany and the building that he built in New York City. And so I was like, you know what? Tiffany, that sounds right. So I wandered over to Tiffany, you know, and I'm just in combat boots and my jeans, basically, and I go in, and they're looking at me like, oh, hey, are you lost, you know? I was like, no, man, my Ferrari's parked out front, man, didn't you see? I said, I'm here to figure out this situation about money clips. And they're like, oh, okay, here's what you want. And so they said, this is the classic money clip. And so I bought it, and then I bought one for one of the guys who worked for me, who later ripped me off. But somewhere he's out there, and he's got a money clip for me. And brother, if you think I've forgotten about you, think again. One of these days we're gonna square the ledger on that one. Okay, speaking of choosing violence, I've always had knives ever since I was a little kid. This is the best knife ever made for carry. Okay, it's called CRKT. Let me make sure my dyslexia didn't jump in there. CRKT. And it's something like, I always forget, it's Country River something. I don't know. You can look it up. But this specific knife is the M1613 ZLEK. Now, if there was ever a good name for a knife, that's it. And this is made by a guy who makes a whole bunch of knives. I think he's since died, but look at how well thought out this knife is. First of all, you can open it like this, okay? And it has a double lock. You have to move this safety lever and then slide this over, and then you can fold the blade back. Now look at the blade, is just a masterpiece of engineering. It's got serrations, and it's sharp as can be. It has a little ridge up here. I should be getting paid by this kind, but no. I bought this on sale. I think it was $70. It has a carbide glass breaker, which I used to destroy the mirror up in my bathroom one day when it fell off the wall. Works pretty well. I can't wait to use it on a car window sometime, but so far nothing. It's got a seatbelt cutter that in a pinch doubles as a can opener or a bottle opener for a Coca-Cola. But let me tell you why I ditched my butterfly knife and my carbon fiber ceramic knife and switched to this. Here's why. When you open this, see how it has this guard? So if you had to actually use this knife, and let's say you were trying to stab somebody, you know, and you hit, instead of going into their heart or their kidneys, you hit a bone. Well, what you don't want to have happen is you don't want your finger to run along this blade as you're trying to, you know, hit the guy's vital organ and have it cut your finger off. And the reason that I switched to this knife, like I say, is because I was watching this crazy video on YouTube, I think it was, and they had shown, because I watched a lot of police videos, you know, police activity and those channels. I almost became a police officer, but, you know, decided to go into computer programming instead. So I watched the police video, and they responded to a call where this guy had been harassing somebody, and he came over, and I guess he was drunk a little bit, and he decided he was going to slash the guy's or puncture the guy's tire. And in his drunken rage, he pulled out his knife and he stabbed the tire, but his finger slid down the blade and it cut his fingertip off. This is not a joke. I think I might be able to. I'll see if I can find the video and link it. It cut his finger off, and in the morning, the person whose car it was went out and saw that they had a flat tire, and they found this guy's finger next to the tire. Talk about karma, you know. And I believe they actually took the fingerprint and printed it. I'm not making this up. I think they took the fingerprint and printed it, and tracked down the guy. So I'll see if I can find that video. Okay, let me see what else here. Okay, so this is a needle, which I've case hardened with a blowtorch. And I use it to very carefully scale my teeth, because my dentist, arguably the best dentist who's ever lived, retired, and now I have to kind of keep up on my teeth myself. So I don't really have anywhere to go right now where I can get my teeth clean. So I, being kind of the DIY guy that I am, I very carefully scale my teeth every few days to make sure they're as clean as possible, because dental hygiene is very important. Okay, let's see what we got here. This is the key to my house, even though I never use it. I've had it on here 15 years. I should really get rid of this thing. I have it on here 15 years, but I have deadbolts inside the house so that if I ever needed to use the key, it wouldn't even get me in the house. I don't know why I carry it. This is the key to the community mailboxes, which I live way out in the woods, so it's a quarter-mile or longer walk, maybe half-a-mile walk to get the mailbox, to go check the mailbox. So I keep this on there in case I'm near the mailbox. This obviously is the key to my beloved pickup truck, but it's not just any key. It is a steel key. So if you look where they've cut it away, it's not brass, because the brass keys, you know, they can potentially snap off. So this is a special steel key that I had to cut. And normally when you walk into a locksmith with a steel key, they kind of freak out because they don't want it to mess up their key cutting machine. So what you have to do is you have to track down kind of an old school locksmith who can cut the steel keys and doesn't mind that it is a little harsh on the thing. When I did it, I had like 6 keys, or no, three or 4 keys, and I took them in. I think I had them cut 3 of them, and I think it was like, I can't remember if it was $2 a key and it was $6 total. If it was $6 a key and it was $18, whatever it was, I was pretty happy to get the steel key. This is the key. So what this was a normal key, but it didn't flip around on the keychain right, and I had to drill a hole in it to make it bigger. But this is the key. I used to go to Vegas a lot. Okay, I back when I had my financial companies, I got to know this guy. Some of you might know him, Bob Bright, and his late brother Don Bright. They approached me because of my internet company, and we did a little business together. And when I was out in Vegas, I was talking to Don and Bob, and Bob was, he's the one who taught me card counting. I don't know if you guys know, I used to card count out in Las Vegas a little bit. Made it, yeah, nothing crazy like, you know, Bob Bright. If you look him up, he's a big poker player and maybe the best card counter, you know, alive. And he taught me card counting. I was never much into gambling, but he showed me how to card count from a mathematical standpoint, and I absolutely loved it. I got the books and taught myself how to do it, and, you know, won 6 figures, that sort of thing, till the MGM kind of politely asked me not to come back. Now this, so anyways, the reason I have this is because I used to travel with my H&K 40, and when you travel with a firearm, you have to lock it up and all kinds of stuff. So that's the key to lock and unlock my suitcases and stuff. Okay, so now this is also, I had to modify this, but this is a key, a handcuff key, and it normally goes on a belt loop for a police officer's gear, but I drilled out the snap and made it a keychain kind of deal, and I really like it. It's got the thing for the double lock on the handcuffs, And I carry this on my key ring just because I like handcuffs, and you know, I think it looks kind of cool with the little whatever that is, like a little elk or something on there. And I'll tell you a quick story about this. One day I was in Home Depot and I was walking along, and I looked over and there was this mom, this Asian mom, and her 2 little kids, and they were by the hacksaws in Home Depot. And as I walked by, I kind of looked back to see what they were doing, and I noticed the mom was trying to hacksaw a pair of handcuffs off her 8-year-old or 10-year-old son. What the? And I said, and of course, if you've ever tried to, you know, hacksaw off a pair of handcuffs, and who hasn't, right? It's not that easy. I've done it. And not like why you think. My dad, when I was a kid, he accidentally got stuck in handcuffs, and I when I was 10 years old, I was trying to help him, you know, get the handcuffs off. We ended up using a grinder, as I remember. But so I look back, and this mom's trying to hacksaw a pair of handcuffs off her kid, and I said, hey, that's gonna take all day. And I said, hey, let me see your handcuffs, or I have a key. And I said, why does your son have handcuffs? You know, she's like, oh, he was playing with them and he got stuck. She goes, we went to the police station and they refused to take the handcuffs off. I was like, what police station would not take handcuffs off an 8-year-old? Anyways, I said, hey, come here, I got a key. And I took the handcuffs off the kid, and oh my gosh, the mother and everybody was so happy and elated, and the mother's like, I never want to see these again. I said, well, I'll take them here, and I still have them over in the tool chest in the top drawer. I have these handcuffs that are halfway hacksawed through. Anyways, that's the one day my handcuff key came in handy. All right, let's see what else we got here. Just, you know, tweezers, and this is the stuff you can see. I try to keep my nails in fairly decent condition. Cuticle cutters. What else we got over here? This here, Mace, just in case. Believe it or not, I actually have a license to carry mace. You don't have to have one anymore, but back in the, I want to say the late 80s, when Mace first came out, you actually had to go down to the police station and get a permit to carry mace. And I have one somewhere floating around here, but you don't need that anymore. Anyways, really good defensive kind of thing. I never leave the house without my mace and my knife. This mace is really good. It's got OC as well as tear gas, as well as UV dye. I believe this is what the LAPD used to carry, but it comes out in a stream, and I personally prefer to carry this over any sort of firearm for personal protection. As I always joke, it's you know, if you have to defend yourself or something, or somebody comes up and you use this accidentally or whatever, it's much easier to explain to the district attorney why somebody is sitting on the sidewalk washing their eyes out than bleeding out. So, you know, unless you happen to be in a part of town where gun battles are imminent, I personally feel like carrying mace is the best alternative. It's much easier to carry than a heavy pistol or something. And 99 times out of 100, having this on you is plenty. I know guys, my brother-in-law, in fact, he was in a fight with 3 guys, and he whipped his mace out, and it turned the table. So that's all you really need. Plus, as long as you know how to protect yourself or fight, and you know a few Brazilian jiu-jitsu moves, you know, and you know you are a strong guy, then, you know, generally you can take care of yourself. A little flashlight here. Let's see here. A little card from my daughter. That's all you need, is your daughter's approval that you're a good dad. This is my money from selling stuff on Craigslist. Emergency eye wash. I guess that's about it. What else we got up here? Oh, my letter opener for opening bills. That's about it. All right. Well, like I say, I'm sitting here waiting for the pickup truck. I'm sitting here waiting for the pickup truck to be ready to test drive. I got the valve cover all back together. I'll have a video coming about that soon. That little baffle I did in the back went on pretty well. I bent the lip in the back down. I'm wishing I bent the lip in the front down to promote the oil slipping off the sides, but as soon as the RTV sealant cures, I'm going to fire this baby up and see what the situation is with the oil consumption. But I think we might be in business. We'll see. You know, I was thinking about trying to do a video, kind of an overall video about my truck also. Kind of like what it's like to drive it, or I don't know, maybe just kind of a, now that I've got most of the stuff done, maybe kind of an overall walk around, talking about life with my pickup truck. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think about that idea. I feel like I've covered a lot of stuff about the truck in miscellaneous videos, but maybe I haven't kind of done one that you know, show like, are people interested in what these buttons are? I don't know. You know, I've talked about the vacuum gauge a lot. You know, are you interested in this? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. All right, hope you enjoyed the tour of my desk there. I got to get back to work. But thanks for watching, and if you have any questions or anything, feel free to use the comment section below.